Okay, it looks like we are officially live on the streamathon for today. If I sound a little weird, it's because I just woke up. And if I look a little weird, that's probably part of it. So anyway, the first order of business today, before doing Warrior 61 to 70, the whole point is that it's supposed to be my last job to 70. So I do actually have a couple of jobs that need to hit 70, but they're right on the cusp. So some of them I just need to kill. All of them. I just need to kill one enemy. So Dark Knight. You can see that XP bar at the bottom. It is less than 10k, around 10k. Don't make me do math necessarily. But I just need to kill one hunt target from Heaven's Ward, and that will hit 70. And then I'll do the same with Summoner and White Mage. Got some OJ. Also got some water. I should probably turn off those alerts. I have an alert for any hunt targets in my hunt link shell, but I won't be doing that today. So let's see. Let's take this guy out. So I should probably summon my Chocobo, just because. Okay. Right outside Castrum Lands. That will be for Summoner. So let's toss Summoner. I'm level 69, but I mostly still have my level 60 gear on. Alright, let me go ahead and turn off those notification sounds from my Huntling shell. That's all done. And all I gotta do is take out the bear, which is right down here, and if my math is right, I should be level 70 Summoner and Scholar. So, oh, I probably should have summoned. Let's watch as I kill that, and both of these hit 70 at the same time. Oh, I'll do that in a second. There we go. Oh, it's just one for Arcanist. Okay, no problem. And let's go get White Mage taken care of. Just gonna check the chat. Okay. Got one person in the chat. Feel free to talk if you want, or just watch. No problem either way. Alright, so I got my White Mage, level 69. I'm just gonna use Stone 4 probably repeatedly. A Marble Urolith. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. But this also has less than 100k to level, which is just one Stormblood. course, this means about 200k less experience for my warrior to get. But that's okay. I have other ideas for that. So, here we go. I haven't played White Mage in a bit, but it's only level 61, so there shouldn't be a problem. At 70 now, except for warrior, and I also just got the achievement for God of Magic. For getting all the magic-based jobs to 70. The cool thing is that when I finish warrior, I will get the title God of War. And when I finish warrior, I will also get this little thing, which will probably look much better on a warrior. Let's find out. Well, yeah, it's not terrible. We'll see. Anyway, now that that's all set, let me just hide some of these quests, just to make the UI a little better looking. You might notice I've got a love quest that is completed. I'm waiting to turn that in till later, but I'm officially ready to go on the Warrior Experience train. Hope it goes well, because I have not done Warrior in quite a while. Okay. Do I have food? I have that basic food, which is probably fine. Repairs, probably okay, but I'll top them off. Let's see what these are at. 103, 117. Okay, well, let's go repair really quickly, and I will queue up for my first dungeon. Okay. So, Siren Song C, which I am going to do about 3 times. Let's see how quick this queue is. Maybe it's too early. Let's see. Already repaired. Does this guy have any kind of food that would help? Nah. So this is my free company's house, which is like a guild. There's no one here at the moment, probably because it's so early on a Sunday. But if I check the markets for food, it'd be cool to find something that was rather cheap. That's not cheap. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money. I should be able to handle things. What's this? I mean, technically that's more than I would get with the other food. But it's really not a lot. But meat and kebabs, though, that's not terrible. simply because it's super cheap. It gives me just a slight edge. Oh, I only have 5 inventory slots. That's probably not good. Let's see if I can dump some off on my retainers. Just looking for a healer though. And the dungeon will begin. Okay, that bought me a little bit. What is this? Dragon thing. Drop that. Let's see, sell items. So, I'll just have a retainer, sell some junk that I've got. A lot of this stuff is not stuff you want to get rid of. I just have very small quantities, so I actually don't really need that, but let me see how much that goes for. Less than if I just have them sell it. Not sure what that is. One thing I probably should do is double check what armor I have for warrior, because I have a ton in one of my inventories. Alright, well, I got 15 inventory spots now, so that's good. Just need a healer. The other thing is that the armor I do have may not be the best for me yet. Let's see, 60, like at 270, level 63, I've still got a better weapon. Level 61, I still have, well, I have a comparable headpiece. Okay. See, I could put these on just so that I look different, but I'm not a big fan of what they look like to begin with. I would basically be going from the badass looking warrior to this. In fact, the weapon, I don't even have the weapon from it, which is fine. So I'm going to stick with my current gear, probably until at least 63, which is a couple levels away. I might have to make a party, because this is too long to be waiting between dungeons. I want to be spamming them go, 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 if I'm going to hit 70 today. I do have an experience buff from the free company, where experiences earned experiences increased. Food is also going to last long, and then down here where my experience points bar is at the very bottom, when it's blue I'm getting a bonus. So I'm very surprised this is taking this long. What we can do in the meantime is prepare for... Oh, there we go. Never mind. Let's do this. Okay, hopefully these people are not perfection, because it's been a while. next time. Okay, going in. Here we go. I can turn down the sound. Game sound is louder than my voice. The background music is really loud. Much lower. I guess sound effects can go down. You don't really need to hear them that much. Voice, definitely don't need to hear. Just put these a little bit higher. Ambient sounds, I'll turn down to 25. Okay. Alright. This is my first time doing this, so some things. Let's see if there's anything here. Well, I don't really want any of these things. Okay. And I'm probably just going to do some bagels. Since it is my first time in a while. Actions are setting. I believe in Stormblood content there's a lot of stun resistant enemies, so I might as well just add an effective defense rather than do that. These guys leave stupid pits on the ground. right? Yeah, decimate. Okay. So decimate. Why do I not have decimate? Share something. Probably shares with Steel Cyclone. Sound, my voice is a little bit better, higher than the sound in the game now. I did turn everything down to like 25 in the settings here. The only thing is master volume, which I guess I could reduce that a little bit too. Okay. I have the chat displaying on another monitor. If you see me looking over to my left. And I think when I hit 100, I gotta remember how to play this. Okay, I'm not really sure how to lower my game's volume any more than it is, so I'll just try talking louder. It's one of those things where me being new at streaming might be something better than right now, but when my game sound looks like this, I'm not sure how to adjust. I might be quiet. I did have a sleeping wife in the next room over and a sleeping baby in the next room over, but I believe both of them are awake now, so I will just speak louder. As loud as I can without sounding like I'm yelling. Okay, so I need to really remember how to play this most effectively. Trying to recall that there is. Okay. Remember there being a way to stack multiple fell cleaves. I believe that was with. I'm trying to find the ability. It wasn't Berserk. Oh, it was Infuriate. Okay. Oh, I do not like this part as a tank. Just pull a little at this section. I have seen tanks that go all the way to the end. Pull this and the enemies that spawn over in that corner there. I do not have enough confidence, especially as a warrior, yet to do that, because this is my first run-through here as a warrior. Somehow even Red Mage took aggro. Oh man, just accuracy. That guy, that healer is pulling forward. I'm not a fan of when healers do that. But rewind. my stacks, because it wasn't me. I was already in Deliverance. I thought I'd switch to Deliverance. Now I'm in neither. So if you look at my experience points bar, the hope is that by the time this dungeon is over, which is more than 2/3 done now, that I will be 1/3 through that experience point bar. On this in case anyone here could use these, because I don't need it. Okay. So again, I believe some people like to pull these all the way to the end. There is one enemy after this before the final boss of this dungeon, but he's like a mini boss, and he has a crap load of hit points. He also has a move that if you don't stun, will freeze everybody. So I might actually turn low blow on just in case the others don't have it. Charms everybody, and then he does damage. So let me go ahead and turn low blow back on. Okay. So he does like a scream that will stun, charm, and everything. And then he does area of effect attack. Something like that, but I can't do it. So what I'm going to do is stun. There's a scream. So, oh, someone's stunned. Awesome. Must be that ninja. And there's the AoE. That is a good ninja. Does here. Only 4,000. Half of my job gauge will heal me 4k. Blows when I have 40k hit points. Okay. Time for this guy. So I need about 5 million experience to get through this level. 1.3 from this so far. And this guy should give a good amount too. I've actually only learned on my second to last playthrough of the job that the way that this guy's job works, because I typically do not look up how to do things. I try to learn from them. So, anyway, for those of you that don't already know, which probably is not many, Orbit Advance that he uses will make you run forward, and the other one whose name I can't recall makes you run backwards. So you can position yourselves facing a certain way so that you don't run over the AoE puddles. So here I go, I'm going to run forward. So whatever the one that's not advance is will make me run backwards, so I want to have my back pointed towards the safe zone. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't turn it in. So I didn't know that for like all the other jobs that I leveled. Morbid retreats, my back, I should have. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I did it by camera. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so I would just go through all these puddles, which, you know, is evident that it's not that important, because I wasn't dying and stuff. But it's still good to know. Okay. So I can pop 3 felt leaves right in a row, but I'm still not 100% sure. Oh, that was retreat. Oh well. See? I mean, like, I took barely any damage there. It's just good to know how it works. Anyway, probably turn Deliverance on and just do damage, because it looks like I have got enough aggro for the rest of this boss. I can always switch back if I need to. Kind of waiting, got 100 charge. Less than 10 seconds, I can pop Infuriate and get another Fell Cleave, which does a good amount of damage. So I'm gonna run this way. So when it makes me run, yeah, that's how it's done. Alright. Using his limit break. This thing's dead. Okay, and that was my first dungeon. Wow, I got almost all the way to 2 million. Awesome. Okay. I'm just gonna leave because I don't need any loot. And the comms will come later. Because I get experience points from the comms and I'm saving that. Level 68 is a pain in the ass because I hate the level 67 to 68 dungeon, Doma Castle. It's just a hassle. The bosses are pains in the asses. The regular enemies aren't terrible, but I just don't like it, especially as a tank. So I'm gonna have to do it through level 67, but instead of also doing it through 68, I have a ton of challenge log experience point things that are ready to go. Like this is going to get me 1 million right off there. Turning in that one lev quest is going to get me another 1 million. So I'm going to probably do roulettes at level 68. Anyway, that was the first dungeon. Time to do it again. I'm used to insta-queues as a tank, but I guess before 10 AM on a Sunday morning, that's not really happening. I could make a party, but I think it's honestly just that there's not a ton of people online right now. Okay, so let's see if I do some math here. 1767796 divided by 4,873,000. So that was 36%. So I will need to run it 3 times, but that's what I anticipated. What will be more interesting to me is what happens when I'm level 62. If I have to run it 3 times or if I have to run it 4 times, because I get less experience being a level higher than the minimum. Anyway, I should probably turn Deliverance on. I mean, Defiance. And okay, so I'm starting to remember a little bit about it. So I pop, I hit Berserk, Infuriate, I go through. I mean, it's a little different in how Stormblood's doing it. Maybe if I have a long queue somewhere, I'll practice a bit. Okay. Come on, guys. Oh, I didn't. Well, I have Protect on, but the healer never. The healer just dropped. Well, that stinks. Wonder if it was like the same healer. And he didn't like me. Or maybe he just didn't like this dungeon. That's a popular thing. This dungeon is not that bad. Excuse me. But it's a pretty quick dungeon. Okay, I had not anticipated people just dropping right at the start of a dungeon, especially a healer. If it was a DPS, would not have been a problem, because it probably would have just been filled right away. Maybe the healer didn't like that it's a Dragoon and a Machinist, as opposed to like AoE specialists like a Summoner or Black Mage. Even though every job has AoE now. Yep. Someone that's here, LOL, a healer that didn't want to deal. Well, his name got captured on the screen because I have the name showing. I could change it to just show initials, but I don't care. I'm not even sure how. Is it this way? Let's see if I do this. Nope. I mean, it changes their initials over their head, but not in the party list. Again, I'm not terribly concerned about that. Mostly just curious of how it works. Maybe it's this thing. Oh, yep, that would be it. So I could do that. But then you're still seeing the names over their heads. I don't know. I don't know if I should keep the names hidden for like the sake of privacy, because they're not exactly consenting to screaming on their own, or just leave it. I mean, if you think of sites like FF logs, people get their performance uploaded without consenting usually. I guess I'll leave it until it becomes an issue, if someone mentions it. Let me see. Healer dropped in Siren Song as soon as we started, if anyone wants to join up. I was gonna say in progress, but you can't really say in progress when we haven't pulled the first enemy. It should be less than 5 minutes because a healer should be queuing up somewhere. Well, this is great. Did not anticipate this. If one of these DPS drops from being impatient, I'll just drop and re-queue, making sure that in progress is turned off. Some healer's gonna queue up and see in progress and get all excited that he's like, oh yeah, maybe I'm at the last boss and I'll get the full duty roulette credit just for the last boss. And then they're gonna see that we didn't even really start. Well, I guess in times like this, all you can really do is dance. This is terribly exciting, isn't it? There we go. I think for the sake of fairness, I will hide their names. There we go. Display name. Oh. Oh, there's party members. Display name and target it. I'll do it that way. Because I would like to know what their names are. I guess the party list will show it too, though. Okay. And here we go. Only raise my job gauge 10 points. I don't know what the unit is. And I need 50 to do a cool one. Fell cleave, so I'd have to hit like 5 times. I don't know if you can do that unless berserk times increase. At least to be able to do it. Seconds. Oh, I guess I'll have to give it a test. Give it a test on a boss. That was some trash. That might move or whatever. I can still use decimate on the enemies. Oh, and I should change back to Rampart. These guys might want me to go all the way, but I didn't see him running, so I'll leave it as is. I also just to extend my benefits before they run out, or I've forgotten that they run out. That's not really a lot of damage. I know every bit counts, but I thought that I would do more than like 2K. I also thought that I would be doing more getting more experience points from these guys. Come back over here, dumbasses. Because these guys are right before the boss, so I won't need the cooldown ultimatum for a while. as well. It's very interesting. I thought they were doing a lot more damage. I do like that the abilities and shared slots with their stance counterpart. So I could rearrange my hotbar so I don't have one hotbar for Deliverance, one hotbar for Defiance. But I have to think about that because I also have to think for what's going to become Onslaught. Rushes target, delivers. Oh, that's really good. That can replace Tomahawk, which takes up over 100 TP just to use. But being able to rush forward like that. So when I have established my feet here, which it looks like I'm doing a decent job, doesn't look like these guys are pulling it off of me. Switch to Deliverance. Oh crap, stacking us too. Neither did that machine. So the healer's on point, thankfully. So, let's see. I go Berserk. So I got 3 off really quickly, but I don't know that I can get the 4th off, at least yet, because I get pacified before I'm back up to 50. I've heard of people doing like 6 fell cleaves, but I assume that's at Warrior 70, and not Warrior 61. Okay. That machinist does not know how to stack. If I was giving out comms, he would not be getting it. I'm not giving out comms until 68 probably, because I know I will accidentally comm. I have 3 to give out before I get my reward. So I can give out 2 before the reward. So if I have a really good player, I will commend them. But I'm not seeing it here yet. The ninja in the last group was really good, but not like mind-blowing. I do want to save those for getting through level 68 as quickly as possible, since it's a pain in the ass level to me. I can pop 3 fell cleaves really quickly. I assume that I'll get some ability to do more in time. Or I just don't know how to do it now if there's another way to do it. Oh yeah, inner release. Having the cost, that must be what it is. Okay. Oh, I better put Defiance back on. So my job gauge is almost up to 100. So I switch to Deliverance. Berserk, use Dress Helmet. said it last run, I know people like pulling these massive pulls. And I get it for the sake of cooldowns, like offensive cooldowns that potentially do AoE. And I also get it from the perspective of, whoops, that's not the right ability, of the chain bonus for experience points. Like there's 24 seconds remaining for experience point bonus. And if these don't die in 24 seconds, reset. And if it does, the next one is even less. So if you have them all grouped up, potentially they're dying together, so you get bonus, bonus, bonus. I get all that, but it's not that big a deal. Oh, this dude's Japanese. Draco. I like to see more others have spent their time leveling. This guy is all the jobs above 50. In fact, only 2, 3. Looks like he just doesn't like Black Mage. I've seen people like that have everything but like one job. Yeah, so sure we would have gotten more experience with a bigger chain bonus, but I mean when we're dealing with millions of experience points, I'm not exactly sure how much a few thousand make that big difference, you know? Like, I'm sure it does. Obviously every little bit helps. But I'm just far more comfortable when I'm dealing with enemies one pack at a time with people I don't know and with a job that I'm still trying to remember. So after these guys is the next boss. And then there is that long pull where the healer in the last run pulled all of them. But he managed to keep me up. None of us died. So that was good, but you know, I don't know how this one is. Like, he's chatting right now. Which is fine, we're all alive. But I'm not gonna do a long pull on that stupid hallway. Even when I was leveling Dark Knight, I tried it. Because I only did the, you know, each dungeon here I only did about 3 times. And I would do it on the odd levels, and on the even levels I would do my daily roulettes to get me through the odd level. So even when I did it on Dark Knight, I tried 2 times in that stupid hallway. I think we died both runs, so the 3rd time I just didn't bother. And I don't remember Paladin. That was so long ago now. Okay, here we go. So again, if I can establish hate, I will just switch right over to Deliverance. I don't know why I'm getting loot. I don't need this loot. That guy placed his... Oh, that's a healing bubble. I thought it was like an AoE bubble. So that's a good spot. Alright. Hate seems like it's pretty decent. I'm gonna switch over to Deliverance. Deliverance. And I can go... Okay. Yeah, cool. Hate meter is not my fate going against me. effects. I do feel like it's still... yeah. Alright, I got everything at 15. Oh shit, the Dragoon has... oh, the Dragoon has hate only because of that stupid move. I thought I screwed up. Big time. I don't know that there's a way yet to get to a 4th Valcleave. No, because Berserk wears off before you have the 50 again to use it. That's fine. The fact that they made you able to use 3 right, like, almost in a row, that's great, because that used to take a while. You could use 2 in a row with Infuriate, but then you basically have to charge up another one. This machinist, he must be new to this. He wasn't stacking with us in the last boss, and he's not running to the edge for that mechanic in this one, which is fine. We got it. Well, he's about to die, but... boss died first. Okay. Here's that hallway I don't like. But let's see what they have happen here. Yeah, well, we have a shitty limit break. Come on. Boop, boop, boop. Come on. Well, I hate when the alignment is such that you try something and it doesn't hit the enemies you're trying to make them hit. If that makes any sense. I wonder if I tinker with the volume setting directly. I don't know if that changes anything in how I sound. I have tried so much to get the sound right, but that's definitely something that I'm gonna have to partner up with somebody and test out. I've got volumes all down to 15 and adjust half the overall Windows volume of the app itself. So hopefully I can be heard. Mostly just narrating what I'm doing. Alright. See, I like this group. They were all cool with just one group at a time here instead of trying to do everything all at once. It's like, look at all these enemies plus that other enemy. It's just not a fun... See, like, that guy just ran at the next one. About to kill the stupid fairy before I even got aggro. I mean, it's probably on me, but that's precisely why I didn't want to pull both at the same time. Okay. I wonder if I get an ability that will make my job gauge, like, charge it up. No, that charges, that costs. I don't see it. That's too bad. That'd be cool if I got something that was like a temporary fill your gauge. Oh shoot, I'm going down. I tried Inner Beast before. See, I don't even have 50 to use Decimate right now. So all I can really do is use Overpower Now I have 50. Okay, so let me see if I switch to Deliverance and use Decimate. Yeah, cool, I took a couple out. Still think it's crap damage. But I guess not supposed to be a damage dealer. I should check out what traits Warrior gets as it levels up too. It's gotta get something. Be nice if it's maybe job gauge increases more, so it's not just 10 per hit. Because if that was the case, then I could see how you could I could also see how you could get more Fell Cleaves inside a Berserk period of time. Okay, I'm going to check. Let me just see where the hate meter's at. Alright, so traits. Infuriate recast is reduced by 5 seconds upon landing. Oh, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. And welcome to the stream as well. Hey, Scion. Thanks for watching. I'm still trying to remember all the mechanics of playing Warrior, and some of them have changed from Stormblood, but I've got a decent grasp on it. This is my second run through Siren Song. One more after this and I should be 62. Although, you know, still gonna need to run this until I'm 63. Alright, I don't know if these guys have a stun mechanic loaded, so I'm gonna load low blow for this guy over here. The Dragoon could have leg sweep, but I don't know if he does, and I don't want us all getting charmed. So I just don't have Rampart right now. Probably should have taken off Ultimatum, especially for this, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm just going to switch to Deliverance at this point. With 100 on that job gauge. Oh yeah, look at that. Fell Cleave for 6.5k. I mean, like, I don't know why Decimate is so much less powerful. So there's a Scream. Nobody's stunning it. I got it. Now we can dodge the Flood. Glad I switched that roll action, because clearly our Dragoon did not have it ready. 8 more seconds and I can use it again in case this guy decides to scream again, which I bet he will. I don't think we're killing him fast enough. Yeah, Scion, I got Warrior to 60, and I got, as you might be able to see, its Anima weapon. So it was my tank class in Heaven's Ward. Dark Knight was a lot of fun, but I didn't. I got its Anima to 230, but I enjoyed Warrior for being like its off-tank purposes as well, because it could do damage well. And Paladin just always bored me before Stormblood. Paladin is now my main in Stormblood, which Dragoon was my main for the 7 years prior, but I really hate what they did to Dragoon in Stormblood so much. It's just not fun to play anymore. So yeah, this is my last class, as you can see. Everything else is 70. Also, in the crafting world, or gathering. So yeah, last class to 70. Be more than 2/3 done. 61 after this. Guy dies here, and then I'll queue up for one more, and 1 level down. 8 to go. 8? Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of fun leveling Dark Knight in Stormblood. It reminded me of why I enjoyed it the first time. because I think back when Heaven's Word comes out, I got Dragoon to 60 first, and I got everything to 60, but I think that I did Astrologian, so I would have a healer, and then I did Warrior as a tank. I had done Dark Knight, and I remember liking it, but I also remember when I started playing it in Stormblood, I said to myself, well, yeah, I have an anima that I never finished. Why did I not finish it? Did I just not like it? Why did I even bother making it? And then just playing Dark Knight, I realized, like, oh yeah, this is a lot of fun. There's a lot of utility to it. There's different ways of approaching it. I like the way that Dark Arts can change some of its abilities. That's something I think is really cool. Okay. So we'll see. I mean, I do love Paladin and Stormblood. It's a lot of fun too. Oh, I forgot to put Rampart back on after the guy before this boss. I do have other cooldowns though. I should probably switch to Deliverance. None of these guys are gonna take the heat, the boss off of me here. It's helpful knowing what the advance and retreat does. Oh, down goes our machinist. I mentioned before that up until like either the last job I leveled to 70 or the one before that, I did not actually understand the mechanics of this boss fight. Because I typically, other than like Savage content, don't look up how to do fights. I like to learn from them. And I didn't really pick up on my own that when he uses advance, you're going to automatically run forward, and when he uses retreat, you're going to automatically run backwards. It sounds silly to say that I didn't know that now. So he's using advance, so if I position myself towards a safe area, I will run forward and not through the blue pit. And then when he uses retreat, I gotta make sure my back is towards a safe zone. So yeah, I didn't know that through the last, I don't know, 15 jobs. I don't know how many jobs there are, but a lot of jobs. And just kept running whichever way it would point me, which was clearly enough to... It wasn't like so much damage that I was dying from it. But it's still one of those things that it's like kind of embarrassing to not have realized or picked up on. But in the end, here we are. Last job to level, and I get how to do it. So, yeah. Well, the thing about healing is... Oh, I wasn't paying attention. See, like I just ran through 2 puddles, I'm still alive. The thing about healing that I worry about is the pressure. Like, tank and healer both have this sense of responsibility, where if you screw up as tank, people are going to die, and if you screw up as healer, people are going to die. And as DPS, generally, if you screw up, it's just things take longer to die. But other than like Savage content and like very specific scenarios, if you screw up as a DPS, it's almost negligible, whereas healer obviously is very important, and then tank, keeping the enemies on you. Alright, so I'm at 3.48 million out of the 4.8 million, so I will definitely level on the next run. Yeah, I definitely watch guides for Savage and extreme content. I kind of feel irresponsible if I join without doing it, unless I'm with a group that I say, and I have done that before, where I say, hey guys, let's do a blind run and just see how it goes. And actually most times I do that, they're like, no, we're not wasting our time doing that. But I thought it, you know, like, I think the original Coil, I wanted to do that. You know, even just like, let's have one blind run We'll probably wipe, but let's see how long we can last. If we learn anything on our own, and then we'll consult the guide. But like if I'm joining a party group that's a learning party, I'll still watch a guide. I won't just go in there from scratch, not knowing what's going on. So the insta queues have been really slow. By slow I mean 5 minutes, but so I think I'll get done some of the Beast Tribe quests as best I can while I'm waiting. I think as the day goes on, I'll have better insta queues. Oh, awesome! Hey, that might be really helpful. If you talk to Idia, we've been trying to get together like an actual group, and you know it's always tough just coordinating. But we have some people. I think like for the past couple of weeks, people have been doing their own thing, but we kind of have this shared interest to do something together. So we just need all the people. You know, once you have 8 motivated people, it's just a matter of repetition and learning muscle memory for things. When you run with pickup groups through Party Finder, which I do and others obviously have done, you know, there's no cohesion from like, okay, I know that Scion is going to be running east, and I always run north. You'll be like, I don't know what this guy's doing because I've never played with him before. I should hide the quests that I am not doing here right now because I just like to have a clean UI. Okay, so I want to just kill something over here. Okay. See, if you look at my queue in that corner, I'm one tank and I'm waiting on everybody else to join up. Which is fine. It's probably gonna be like all of a sudden a healer and 2 DPS have queued and I get in there with them. Usually it's the opposite anyway. You get a DPS, 2 DPS, and then one, either a tank or healer queues up and you're waiting for the other. But we'll see. I mean, alternatively, I could see if Party Finder has any. Ooh. Ooh, that would be good. I can't do that one yet because I'm not 63, so that's going to be a long time, but that would have been a good party to join. Do that dungeon repeatedly. Okay, so I got one of my quests done here. I am saving turning these quests in until level 68 because it is a pain in the ass level. I do not like Doma Castle, and there's just a ton of experience points in level 68. Did I have my chocobo out? I don't even know if I have my chocobo out. Oh. But I think he needs... Yeah, I still need to kill 50 things with him, so... Oh, there's my chocobo. Okay. I was really hoping to be level 62 by 10:30, which is in 8 minutes. And that's not going to happen. So I'm going to be a little bit behind schedule. I did take 10 minutes at the beginning of the stream to take care of a couple of jobs hitting 70 that were right on the cusp. I just killed one thing each with them. And this stupid queue is killing me too. Like, it's been 5 minutes now. I'm a tank. There it is. But at least, on the bright side, when I do hit level 68, I can just immediately turn these things in because they will already have been completed. Yeah, that's great. You know, like one of the... oh, there we go. Alright, I'll park my butt right here and resume for the next run. Let me turn on Defiance. I'm probably gonna do roulettes at level 68 because the roulettes are percentage based, and with level 68 being so high as an experience requirement, I'll get the most for it there, and then when I hit level 69 I just do, what is it? Oh, the Castrum one? Okay, so let's do this. Boop-a-doop. Okay, come at me, please. Nice. I love the healing bubble. There's my third run. First healing bubble I've gotten. Oh, I gotta turn Rampart back on. Really not liking that I didn't have Rampart on. Yep, level 69 it's a good level because all you gotta do is run that Castrum dungeon like 3 times and you're 70. That's it. And if you wait to do all your job quests, I've tallied it up and you get about 800,000 experience points just from your Stormblood job quests, so you can factor that in as well. If you have a blue experience points bar, you probably can do your job quests at 68 instead. Whoops. I didn't grab that guy. There we go. This guy's on lice. Yeah, so I may, depending on how my experience points bar looks, I might do my job quest at 68 instead of 69. You do need to unlock the level 69 dungeon, but it's part of the main scenario. So like I've long since beat the main scenario, so I can just go in there again. I try to go to my duty list to show it. It's like Castrum. Starts with an A. But yeah, it's unlocked through the story mode. Oh, okay. Wait, so you just started Stormblood, but you're already almost level 69? That's impressive and curious at the same time. Like, typically level main scenario quest until you can't continue with it because you're not high level, and then you gain that level and then continue with the main scenario quest, etc. And you save any of those side quests that you're seeing for any other jobs you want to level. So like, I leveled Dragoon first when I started Stormblood, doing main scenario quests. And if I hit a wall, I would run a roulette or do some fates or hunts until I could continue in the main scenario quest. And all those side quests that I saw, I ignored until Scholar and Summoner. I did almost exclusively through the side quests. I basically would do what I just described, except like with main scenario. So like what I did was I would do side quests until I couldn't do them anymore, and then I'd do a roulette. For the other jobs, it was just on odd numbered jobs, odd numbered levels like 61, you get access to a new dungeon. 63, I'll get access to a new dungeon. 65, 67, 69. So I would do those dungeons on those levels, and on the even levels, 62, 64, 66, and 68 is when I would use my duty roulette for the day. Yeah, that's one of the things about over leveling is like you end up with wasted experience points unless you have another job that you want to level, and you switch to that for things. Oh, a couple people just leveled up. Congrats. You know, then like I actually hit 70 on my Dragoon before I finished the Stormblood main quest. And I remember being like, oh crap, I'm gonna waste a lot of experience points now. But I didn't have anything else, you know, at 69, so I didn't switch to it. I just didn't get experience, you know, that experience point quest bonus reward or whatever would go to waste. But, you know, once you're maxed out on everything, anything new that they add that happens to have experience points, you're never gonna get until they raise the cap again. That's cool. So, June, so you've been playing about July, August, September, October, 3 or 4 months now? That's pretty cool. Which job are you on, and have you tried any others? Just curious what you think of what you've played, if you liked it and didn't like it and tried something else, or it's all you know so far. White Mage? When White Mage came out in Stormblood, people were concerned about some of the changes they made, because they made a lot of changes to jobs, all the jobs, when Stormblood came out. And I think for White Mage, they were concerned about its effectiveness. But I played it, and I mean, if you enjoy the job and you enjoy healing, your changes they make you just have to adapt to, but they're not game breaking by any means. There's something involving the lilies, like they didn't like how they were incorporated. I thought it was fine. PTSD White Mage, why is that? Yeah, you know, Scion, every time that there's people concerned about various buffs, debuffs, tweaks in general, really, I feel like their concerns almost always end up unfounded in the long run. Like, I remember when Astrologian came out and people were saying, oh, it's such a weak healer. It's my favorite healer. I like being able to heal and also whipping out a card and maybe having a buff. You know, for me it makes it exciting because you're not just healing, you have other things going on besides the healing and occasional DPS. So if healing's your forte, White Mage is fine. I don't understand all this people getting up in arms. It felt fine when I was leveling it. Uh-oh, stack up. Alright. Yeah, that happens sometimes, you know. I played Final Fantasy XI for like 9 years, and when I first played it, I was a beta tester, and I decided I would try White Mage. Hold on a sec. So anyway, I decided I would try Red Mage, because it was like, oh, cool, sword and magic? Best of both worlds. And it was so weak, and I would die so often, just before like level 10 in the starting zones, that I quit the game. I was like, this is boring. Why would anybody level up this slowly? You know, I'd be like level 9, and it was like, you need 2,400 experience points to hit level 9, and I'd be killing something and it would give me 100 experience points, and I was doing the math and saying, I need to kill how many things to level up? This sucks. Not even realizing, like, oh, you know, it's an MMO. I should be partying up with other people and sharing experience points because things will die quicker. I didn't get that aspect of things. So, oh, I gotta turn Defiance back on. I'm losing some enemies here. So yeah, you know, when you start a game and you don't really know what's going on and you're just kind of just playing and figuring it out on your own, you can get lost in it. I think I've done that with many games before. Yeah, I played World of Warcraft. I mean, I think most people have that have done MMOs. I got to max level in World of Warcraft years ago, not like whatever the hell it is now. And I was just like, okay, now what do I do? And it was like, I guess I can do these raids for better gear so that I can do the raids better. And that's just how I felt. Like, all I'm going to be doing is trying to get better gear so that I can do the same thing a little more effectively, and that did not appeal to me. I'm very much like a story-based gamer, so I know you just started in June, but back when this originally came out in 2013, they had these raids called the Binding Coil of Bahamut, and they're comparable to like Omega now, which you probably haven't gotten to. But they're 8-man parties where you fight hard bosses, you know, much harder than like regular dungeons and things like that. And these days they have a story mode version and Savage mode version, but when they had Coil come out, it was just one version, and it was hard. It was hard stuff. I played it not caring about the loot that dropped. I mean, if any loot dropped, that would be a bonus. But there was story to it, so you would beat the first turn, they called it turn 1, turn 2, and get some story content. And that was super appealing to me. But when they came out with Heaven's Ward, they had Alexander, and they had a story mode where you could still get loot, and then they had a Savage mode where you'd get like the best loot. But it didn't offer anything additional in the way of story, so I didn't really care about it. You know, once I did the actual story mode, I think they just call it normal mode, but once I did normal mode, I didn't care to do Savage mode because all it was going to be was, okay, I'm fighting something really difficult, possibly dying a bunch of times, just for the chance to say I beat it, and for the slight chance of getting gear from it. And what's the point of the gear? Because, you know, every 6 months they basically do a reset in the game with the gear. So let's say patch 4.2, they'll be like, okay, now we're going to introduce new gear sets that are going to be higher item level than anything you could get in Savage. And so I just felt like it wasn't worth my time, and the frustration of trying to beat these fights just for gear that was going to be replaced in 6 months, when it wouldn't give me anything new in the way of story. I've been doing Savage, Omega Savage here. It's a little bit better. I think they learned the lesson, and they do have a little bit different content in the Savage, Omega Savage here. And it seems a lot easier than the Alexander Savage was anyway. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm never someone who's like, oh, I gotta beat this and get the loot for it. Unless it's like something I want to glamour. Oops. But in general, I'm more of the story mode kind of person. In fact, a lot of people are like, why are you leveling all your jobs to 70? You're probably never going to play Scholar. And it's true, I'll probably play Astrologian if I want to play a healer. But the jobs all have their own story to them, and I like seeing that story. The actual story for Scholars job quests, I love. I think it's an awesome piece of lore that explains like an entire section of one of the zones in the game. So I really like lore, I guess. So I will level all the jobs just to see the job quest stories. Alright, I think I've sufficiently built up enough aggro on this guy. Then I'm going to switch to... Let's see if I can put Berserk over here without the macro anymore. So I just learned from a party member that Berserk no longer pacifies me. I had a macro that would, do that warning you've probably seen. That's like, warning, use Berserk, gonna get pacified in a few seconds. Make sure you take pacification off of me so I can keep attacking. And I was using that macro for the past couple of runs in here until someone here finally said, hey, so as of Stormblood, there's no longer a pacification with Berserk, right? And I said, yeah, let me change that macro. Oops, I just lost my food. Glad I noticed that. Definitely want the experience point bonus from a boss. So the food I eat, it's crap food. It's given me some very basic things, but one of the things it's given me as a bonus is experience points, and it's only a 3% bonus, but every bit helps, especially when I'm trying to level this all in one day. So thankfully my computer has not frozen yet, knock on wood, because the past week or so I've been testing streaming, and I basically was streaming all the Stormblood side quests. You can see them in the videos that are archived, both above the stream window and at the YouTube link and the social media links below the stream window. Oh, this looks pretty fun. Huh. I might go for that. Oh, I got it. Cool. Yeah, so anyway, I was streaming Stormblood side quests, and my computer would freeze. It would get too hot, or I don't know what it was. And I started chatting with Lasani, I don't know what to call her anymore. And she was saying that it could have been my CPU overheating, and it probably actually was my RAM. I only have 8 gigs, which I thought was enough when I built the computer, and she said she had 8 gigs and was getting blue screens of death. I got a couple of those myself. She upgraded to 24 or 32 gigs, something like that, and has not had any issues since. Which is wonderful, except that the RAM that I have in my system to do that upgrade would be over $100, and I don't have over $100 to spare right now. So I tweaked my settings to stream at 720p instead of 1080p, and I think I changed the bitrate, just anything to potentially alleviate the pressure. And I have a little gauge going in a corner here too that shows the temperature of each core, the CPU load, how far away from the thermal jam Max, I think is the name, TJ Maxx, which is not a clothing store as pertains to this discussion. But apparently TJ Maxx is a measurement where if your CPU hits a thermal jam max, I might have that J wrong, your system shuts down. And, oh shoot, go ahead and toss thrill battle up. I really hate this part of this level. So anyway, the closer you are to 0, I believe, on the scale, when it hits 0, your system shuts down, something like that. And one of my cores is going to like 28. I assume it's a 0 to 100 scale, but it's not really going below that. So it would appear that my system is stable for now. But with the amount of crashes and everything that I was seeing, I figure that if this thing crashes, I'll restart. But if it keeps crashing, I'm just going to switch to playing on my PlayStation 4, which has Twitch on there I can stream to. I just won't have any bells and whistles, which are the overlay, which shows latest follower, latest tipper, total tips. Which I wish it said donation instead of tips, because it's a donation. I'm not taking money from this. It's going to hurricane relief. I will not be taking any of the money that is donated, if at all. So, I wonder if there's a way to change that. I mean, it's too late now, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so if this crashes several times or whatever, I'm just going to switch to playing on the PS4 and go that way, go that route. Because that shouldn't crash. If it does crash, I got a problem. For some reason, it says my current CPU load is 0.1 to 0.3%. Even going down to 0.0 a second ago. Which seems impossible considering I've got a game running, a thing that shows my chat and Twitch running, open broadcaster software, the actual screen running. Yeah, I think that's what I've got. I know I have 8 gigs, I think it was 2400. I mean, the thought of having friggin' 16, 24, or 32, it's very enticing, but I don't know that I want to spend that much money. I mean, the things I could put that money towards instead are in my head. Okay. So, fun fact, this is usually where I change to low blow, but I still have low blow instead. You know what, I'm going to get rid of ultimatum and do rampart. Yeah, blue screens are scary. I mean, for me, I'm just like, oh no, what happened? I hope the system's still okay. And most of the time when my machine was freezing during the stream, it wasn't a blue screen. I might have gotten like 1 or 2 of those, but what I mostly would get was both my monitors would freeze and the sound would just be repeating essentially one note over and over and over non-stop until I held the power button down on the machine. And it was like spooky and annoying, and like the sound it would make. So that was the kind of freezing it was doing, which I also don't like, obviously. But I've been streaming now for 1 hour and 44 minutes, and so far it's going okay. Yeah, that's what I think it probably was. I do think it was a CPU issue. I moved my tower out a little bit from where it's sitting so that it gets a little bit more air. And I also tried reducing some of the settings a little bit. So hopefully it goes the long haul, but if not, I'll just hop on my PlayStation and play there. Not that big a deal to me. I just don't have the overlays and the little pop-ups that say so-and-so is now following. I'm not sure. I mean, like, I have a list of the parts I saved that list. I'm not sure what I have, but I had a dude on Reddit basically recommend, like there was a subreddit that's like build my PC, and you tell someone what you're looking for, and I said I want a gaming PC, and this was in 2015. So I got whatever he recommended, but I don't recall, especially off the top of my head now, 2.5 years later, what I got. I'm sure I have some means of protection, but that doesn't mean I have the best out there. And sometimes I'll hear the fan pick up too. Like I think I might have just heard it now, but maybe it's because of these effects, I don't know. My graphics card is a GTX 970, so I got that back in 2015. And I have 8 gigs of RAM. I'm running this, I believe, is off an SSD hard drive as well. So that's what I'm working with as my base. It seems like that should be plenty sufficient, but I don't know. I had the issues that I had earlier last week and hopefully don't have today. Yeah, I definitely know there's a fan on top of the CPU. I just don't recall specifics or whatever. You know, I know I don't have, like, what do they call it? The cooling, liquid cooling. I don't have anything to that effect. But even the case I got is like a case that's supposed to help with cooling issues. Because the PC I had before this, it got so loud it would sound like a jet engine while a game was running. And eventually I just said I gotta get a new machine altogether. This is just intolerable. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to look into that someday, but it's just tough, you know, to prioritize what money gets spent on. I've got a baby turning 6 months old next week, and so it's hard to spend money on myself knowing that I could do things for her or even just the family in general so that, you know, things are better off. I did, my birthday was last week, and I did spring for a little treat for myself, which I think is right here. Oh, I better wait until after this dungeon. Well, for one thing, I got the Super Nintendo Classic. I went to a Walmart that was having a midnight release, and I got a number. I was number 7 to get one there. So I was fortunate there. Yeah, I know. I started calling stores the night before it was supposed to come out. And I was saying, you know, okay, Best Buy, how are you handling the launch tomorrow? We open at 10 a.m. At 9 a.m. we'll hand out vouchers to people online. Okay. Target, what are you doing? We open at 9 a.m. At 8 a.m. we'll hand out vouchers. Okay. Walmart, what are you doing? We're handing out vouchers right now because we're selling them starting at midnight. I was like, I'm on my way. So I rushed over there. I got number 7. They said just make sure you're back here by midnight. Came home, went back to Walmart at midnight and picked mine up, no problem. So I've been playing Super Mario World, and I figure I'll play stuff in the order it originally came out to kind of get that nostalgic feel even more. So I've been playing Super Mario World, but I actually have an original Nintendo, Super Nintendo still. I also have an original Nintendo. But, you know, getting the actual games for the systems is pretty expensive. Even on eBay, you know, collection is a really big thing these days. So, you know, if you were to get all the games that come in the Super Nintendo Classic, you'd spend well over what it costs. Alright, there's my first level up of the day. So I got something that's not on the Super Nintendo Classic. That's one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. And I was able to get it in its original Super Nintendo box. And that would be this game here. Probably is backwards because it looks backwards on my preview window. I wonder if I can flip this. Flip image. Let's see if that does anything. Nope. That made me upside down. There we go. You'll have to tell me if it was backwards the first time or backwards the second time. But yeah, this game is really great. It was made by Nintendo, it looks like, but it wasn't included in the Super Nintendo Classic. But it's very Zelda-like, and I really liked it when I was young, and it's not part of the Super Nintendo Classic, so I sprung for that for my birthday. Okay, so now I'm level 62, and I got a new ability. Onslaught, rush the target. And it increases enmity. Oh, it costs on my beast gauge though. So if I don't have anything on the beast gauge, it's not going to work. I'm probably still going to replace Tomahawk with it because Tomahawk just takes up so much TP. Okay, still have a blue experience points bar, still gotta do Siren Song C. So I'm gonna queue up, and while I'm queuing up, I'll finish these beast tribes here. I think these things will still aggro me because I'm only 62. When I get to like 65, you get to a cool point where not much in the starter zones and Heaven's Ward aggro you anymore, which is awesome. It's so cool running around places that you used to have to watch your step and not even worrying about it. Okay. I could turn on Deliverance for these guys. So I know I'm only level 62, but so far I still feel like I have more fun with Paladin and even Dark Knight. So I probably will not play Warrior that much. I mean, like I said, I'm only level 62. But these don't really look like they're going to change my mind that much. This is really cool. I mean, it'll allow me to do more beast gauge abilities more often. But I don't know if that overall is going to make me enjoy the job more. Okay, deliver the mint and the sage. I'm pretty sure that I'm done here. I know I'm supposed to deliver mint and sage, but I think I then immediately get the reward from an NPC right next to that guy. So I'm going to pop back into Siren Song C and do that, and then I can go over to the Sea of Clouds to do its job quests. Okay. Okay, guys, come on. Oh, someone in my party is going to join the stream. I've been, I got a macro that lets my party know that I'm streaming. I just feel like out of a sense of courteousness, I should say, just so y'all know I'm streaming you guys right now. Which is also part of why I turned off player names and change the abbreviations. And I am out of orange juice. Okay. Well, I'm assuming we can get going now. Alright. Let's pull some stuffs. Okay, so I can't throw the tomahawk here because I just got rid of tomahawk for the new onslaught ability. But that takes up so much TP that it's just not worth it. I would rather use overpower and extra time than have tomahawk. Rest in peace, tomahawk. And now I can use onslaught because I've got the beast gauge built up. So I know that there's going to be that ability that allows me to use less of the beast gauge when I use beast gauge abilities, but I am surprised that there's not an ability that increases the amount. Oops, I went too soon. That increases the amount of beast gauge. Like, I'm only getting 10 per hit. And when most of these things, the useful beast gauge abilities, are taking 50 to use. Like, I believe Steel Cyclone does. I know that Falcleave does. It looks like Decimate did. Let me just verify that. Falcleave is 50. Decimate is 50. Steel Cyclone is 50. So I have to use an ability 5 times, and Heavy Swing is not counting. It's not building up my beast gauge. So that means I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to do 3 rotations. 3 combos, I should say, before I can use another beast gauge ability that's worth a damn. So I would think that they would increase the beast gauge amount. See, I just used 50, and I'm going to overpower a couple more times. And, yeah, so Heavy Swing doesn't do anything. We only get 10 from Skull Sunder, 10 from Butcher's Block. Let me go ahead and Rampart up. I get that if you use Inner Beast at 70, it's half the cost of the ability, so it'll be 25 instead of 50. And I suppose in one way that's similar to the concept of an ability or a trait that increases the amount of beast gauge you earn. But it'd also be nice if it had both. A trait that earned you more, and then an ability that, you know, had a cooldown on it for costing less. But maybe they thought that would make Warrior too powerful? Awesome! That was the first time using Onslaught. I love it. Zap is awesome. Rushing forward like that, it's like the Monk shoulder tackle, but for a tank. And it builds enmity, it said, too. So, like, I immediately start rushing in and have a sense of enmity on the boss. Alright, so after these die, it's the main boss time. So I'm gonna use Berserk, Decimate, Decimate, Decimate. Tell you what, with Berserk no longer needing, or no longer pacifying, I gotta remember to just pop that thing every time it's available. See, that's kind of what I mean. Like, I'm still learning or relearning warrior from heaven. Played it in Heaven Sword. Alright, oh, let me turn Defiance on, and boom. Yeah, that is a fun ability. The cool thing is, with Paladin having been my main, and gotten a bunch of gear from Savage for my Paladin, when Warrior hits 70, it's going to immediately have a pretty decent eye level of its own. Come on guys, stack up. There we go. Alright, how's my hate? My hate's pretty good. Switching to Deliverance. So, Berserk, Fellcleave, 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 and then Main. Oh, Main fell off. That's okay. Okay. See, this is how long it's taken me to build up to 50 again. Which is when I can use Fell Cleave, or Decimate, or Steel Cyclone. So that kind of sucks. That's why I figured there may be a trait that would increase my Beast Gauge rate. But it does not look like I get another trait until 66. And that's just reducing the Infuriate cooldown. Which doesn't really do much in the long haul for me. Alright, so this is still just the first boss. I'm very interested to see if I need to run through this dungeon 3 times at level 62 to hit 63, or if I will be able to do that and actually have to do it in 4 attempts. So, I need to replace something where Second Wind is right now, because I don't have Second Wind is even a thing there. Maybe one of my upcoming abilities, Upheaval, delivers an attack with a potency of 300. Potency decreases, HP decreases. Potency affected by the maximum HP increase in effects granted to self. So that looks like it's good to use after Thrill of Battle, which increases your HP. So that's probably a good thing to throw where Second Wind is in that crossbar. But not right now. Obviously, I don't have it unlocked. I won't have it unlocked for 2 more levels. Boom! Oh, I love it. Okay, so I probably should throw on some cooldowns here. Oh, and I should switch to Defiance. I had the same problem at this point last run too, where I forgot to switch back to Defiance after that boss died. These guys are dying kind of slow, it feels like. But it looks like everybody's doing stuff. Nobody's just AFK or something. Yeah, I see all the abilities going off on the Archer. Or Bard, I should say. And I see that Black Mage doing the casting. Okay. Yeah, Warrior is fun and like its aggro abilities. You know, I like running in, I like Steel Cyclone, I like Overpower. And then you can even throw Ultimatum in, although I turned Ultimatum off. Oh, because of Low Blow. That's right. guess it's different. If I was gonna off tank, I'd probably consider warrior over paladin. But even paladin got a pretty good boost in its off tank efficiency. So I wonder if there will ever be content. Like, I know that they make a lot of content so that any job can do it. It's not like, oh, we need to have a dragoon to do this, because 11 was like that a lot, and in various ways, and I think they want to avoid those kinds of issues in this particular game. I think they want to make it so you can play whatever you like and you'll still be able to beat stuff. That said, I do wonder if there will ever be something where it's like you want a warrior and a paladin, but not 2 warriors or 2 paladins. Like, the variety is welcome for some reason. You know, maybe if I join something that has 2 tanks. Nice! Black Mage using a limit break? Oh, was thinking about it but did not. You know, if I join something and it's already got a paladin, I can switch to warrior. But I don't know if there's really a point to that. Like, do I lose anything by doing that? Like, is there some special abilities that a warrior might have that, let me see, that would be good to have versus, I guess maim will reduce, yeah, okay. So, I suppose there is a point in having a little bit of variety instead of like 2 paladins, 2 warriors. You know, if you have 2 warriors instead of a paladin of one of them, you won't get Summon Cast and Holy Spirit, which is an awesome paladin ability. It's a lot of fun. And paladin has its own damage over time ability. And if you have 2 paladins, instead of one of them being a warrior, you won't get like the slash and resistance buff and that kind of thing. So, alright. Defiance on. Build up enough hate here before I'll switch back to Deliverance. This guy's gonna run right at the middle anyway and stay there. There he goes. And I'm in a good spot. I'm gonna finish this hate combo and Deliverance time. Okay, Berserk. And then pop a crap load of Fell Cleaves. And then build that gauge back up again for more. Oh good, the Bard knows what to do. Black Mage is off by himself, so that they don't draw aggro to their ley lines. Oh crap. Oh, I made it. Okay, so like I've got 100 now and I could pop 2 Fell Cleaves, but if I wait 10 seconds, Infuriate will be ready. And then I can pop 3 Fell Cleaves. Oh, Berserk is timed at the same, has the same cooldown as Infuriate. Okay. So that's good to know. So basically, pop Infuriate, pop Berserk. Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna queue up Maim, because that is one of the abilities that builds my beast gauge back up. So here we go. Berserk, Fell Cleave, Infuriate, Fell Cleave, Fell Cleave, and Maim. Combo still open. Got 10 back on my beast gauge. Finish the combo. Storm's Eye. Alternate with Storm's Path, and I build that back up. So I guess since there's like a 45-second cooldown, I just now hit 50 again, so I can use another Fell Cleave. It's just not boosted by Berserk or I could wait until it's at 100. But I think it's probably good to use one now, because by the time I'm at 100 again, those Berserk and cooldown, Inferior cooldown will probably be ready. Alright. Let's see, why is there 4 things in here? Oh, because we just got a boss. Oh, let me turn this back on. And rush. Oh, but I used up my... Damn. I used up all my beast gauge doing that. I was hoping to pop Steel Cyclone. That's okay, that's what Overpower's for. I don't like that Overpower doesn't reward any beast gauge either. Because, like, it's a very useful utility. Even if it only rewarded 5 instead of the 10. Alright, so these things... I kind of miss Mercy Stroke. That's one of the abilities that they removed in Stormblood. And Mercy Stroke used to be a move that if you use Mercy Stroke and it was the killing blow, you would get 20% back of your HP. I don't think it was MP, I think it was HP. It was very difficult to actually time it so that happened, but when it did happen, it was great. It just felt like, yes. I better pop some cooldowns. This is my least favorite part of this dungeon, is this little section right here with all these. Sweet healing bubble. That will help. I really don't like this stupid warden guy. Okay, I'm pretty sure that I'm good on the aggro, so I'm gonna pop a Berserk and then Decimate. Decimate. Just checking the aggro. Oh. I'm using the wrong ability bar here. Okay, make sure that I pop that back. Oh, I just turned Defiance off. Hey guys. Overpower a couple times. I think I still have low blow on from my last run or so, which will be good for that guy that's right after this. I'm just gonna pop Vengeance because I like Vengeance. Let's see, do I have low blow? Yep, I don't have Ultimatum, but I don't really need it. I have Provoke anyway, and I have Overpower. Ultimatum has a cooldown anyway. It's a nice backup to act like Flash, like a Paladin has, but I don't need it for the rest of this dungeon for sure. Two minutes on food. We're at. Yup. Oops. What do I actually have here? Oh, okay. Alright. Here goes. And when he does a scream, I'm gonna stun, because I don't know that I mean, I'm pretty darn sure a Black Mage doesn't have a stun, even though they should. And I'm not sure if the Bard does off the top of my head. Like, there's probably silence. Yeah, but I don't think they're stunned. But I've got my low blow ready to go. Switch to deliverance. There's the scream. I obtained 5 horns. Must have been from the last enemies. I'm not sure why I got them anyway. Stun you again. Nice. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Should probably focus target so I can see when advance and march and advance and retreat come. Or morbid. Okay, so position myself facing the safe zone. Damn it. Okay. Oh, another advance. Black Mage is doing some good aggro moves, according to the meter. But I think I can switch to Deliverance without issue. Oh crap. Just pop Berserk. Got it. Got my 3 Berserks off. Ooh. HP getting a little bit low. There we go. Benediction. This is pretty good experience points. I mean, I'm looking at the bar down there, 1.5 already, and then this guy's gonna give me a good boost. I gotta get 5.3. Okay, 10 seconds, and I get my Berserk and Infuriate back. Let's see if I can pop to 100. Yep. Alright, so there's decent timing here, just need to figure it out. So let's see, let me hit heavy swing and then boom. Oh, I keep switching back to Defiance after because of muscle memory of where I placed certain things. Maybe I should move Defiance off that spot. Okay. Another one down. Alright. So, I got 2 million almost from that. So, presumably, I would be at about 4 million after one more. And then a third one would get me to 63. So, I might only need 3. I thought I might need 4. I still might. My math could be way off. Right, I'm gonna pop on over to Sea Clouds so I can do the Beast Tribe quests there while I am in queue, in case it's a long queue. And there we go. Oops. So what do I need to do here? Oh, I still have them hidden, don't I? Need to go way over there. Pilfer in pots. Oh, and I need to talk with the woman. I don't know if it's a woman. Luna. Sounds like a female name. She's gonna want me to ride one of these things. Hey there, Yaka. Thanks for joining the stream. I don't know who this guy is either. Some ugly dude trying to get 30 million experience points in one day. It's actually probably more than that. Alright. Let's see. I just know the stupid queue is going to pop while I'm on this thing, which is going to reset me on the thing. Alright. One more. Oh, damn it, that's a different one. Of course it is. Just gotta be resigned to the fact that I'm more than likely going to get kicked off this ride when the queue pops. Yeah, when I was leveling all my jobs, which you can see them here, my goal was 2 levels per day. And the way I would do it is the 3 dungeons. Not 3 dungeons. You know, like, let's say I was 61. I would run Siren Song C 3 times. That would get me to 62. And then I would do all my roulettes. And that would hopefully get me to 63. Oh, I got it. Oh, damn it. There's more. I got 30 seconds to accept the queue. Where is this? Oh, I missed it. I missed the one I want. Shoot. It's gonna kick me off this thing when I come back from the dungeon. Okay. Here we go. Those of you from Don't Panic Free Company might recognize that I'm wearing my Don't Panic t-shirt as well. Okay, let's see. He's got Defiance on. A macro that tells these guys I'm screaming. And let's do this. Bum-ba-da-dum. Only 2 more runs of this place. Well, 1 more after this. And that's if my math holds up. Which is never a given. Okay. So, hit these bastards here. Bum-ba-dum. Of course, this guy did get hit. Why didn't he get hit? Nice. Ninja throwing down some AoE. Summoner throwing down some AoE. Scholar throwing down some healing AoE. This is a good group. Some of those might just sound like basic expectations. I have not had that combo of all of those happening from each person in the party in my previous runs. This is like my fifth? Yeah, this is my fifth run through here today so far. Ugh. I did that last run too. I got ahead of myself. This is probably the only real good spot for ultimatum. This spot, maybe the next spot, if I pull all the way to the crab dude, and maybe at the very end if I pull everything all the way to the coffin dude. Okay, ninja. One thing I haven't noticed, which I know is a good sign of a ninja, is how often they're applying trick attack. So I should keep a lookout for that. Okay. And come on, onslaught. Onslaught. Steel cyclone. Overpower. Whoa. So I have this busted ass computer chair where like you can, you know, most of you that have a computer chair, you got a little thing on the side that you can press to go back a little bit, recline a little bit. For some reason mine broke so that sometimes it'll get triggered and I'll just fall all the way back like I just did, if you caught that on the stream. And what it is I have to lean forward and press the bar like all the way into a hole that goes across. So I think that thing is like supposed to be soldered to the bottom of the chair, and it got loose, and so sometimes it gets loose and dislodges from the hole and I fall backwards. And every time it's startling. I usually just keep it upright because I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I probably should just keep it down, and that way I won't get spooked every time I fall. Come on guys. Come on. Alright. So, tail screw. So I can't do anything now, but if I was going to change a role for the parts where I can use ultimatum, I probably would get rid of awareness. I don't know if there's anything in this dungeon that uses a critical hit on me. I mean, especially trash-wise. Now I say that, and this stupid crab uses tail screw, which I do remember being a devastating move in Shatasha? But I don't know if it is here. And I don't know if it uses it on the tank. I feel like it picks someone else. So maybe awareness can be turned off for this dungeon. And I know ultimatum has a cooldown, and I already have overpower and steel cyclone, but it's a decent backup for an AoE. I'm getting tired of water, and I've only had a few sips. I feel like I need a soda. Well, when I hit 63, I will be able to go to a new dungeon. I'll probably take a 5-minute break, use the bathroom, get some food or drink, and then continue. Come on, come back this way. But that's still at least one more run of this away. And this is still only the first freaking boss. I'm a little bit behind where my anticipated schedule would be for today, because I kind of gauged like where I should be by each half hour. But I mentioned before, part of the reason of that is, number one, I started the stream with about 10 minutes of getting Summoner and Scholar, Dark Knight and White Mage to 70. They each were only 10k or 100k away, so I just killed one Stormblood hunt for each of them to have them level 70 the same day as my warrior. And then another part was that I joined a dungeon here, this dungeon, and a healer immediately dropped out, and we had to wait until a healer randomly joined up. So that stunk. It's not like this is a super long dungeon, but maybe the guy just didn't want to get screamed, because I do tell my party members that the stream's going on. It's also why I have their names hidden and just initials, even though if I target them, I guess you'll see it, but whatever. That's about as much privacy as I guess I can give them for now. Come on, Berserk. 7 seconds away. So yeah, I know that if I take like a 5-minute break, that's still going to set me back 5 minutes. But I'm probably going to need to do that to, you know, use the bathroom, get a drink and some food. I'll probably just get some chips or something anyway. Maybe I'll get some pizza. I think we have leftover pizza. Forgot to watch if the ninja's using Trick Attack. He's doing pretty good, because when I look at that aggro meter, he's getting up there. I switched to Deliverance, because I thought I built up enough aggro, but he's getting pretty close to me. Luckily this thing's dead in 2%. Okay, Defiance back on, so I don't do the same mistake I've done the past 2 runs, where I pull the next group without Defiance on. I don't know why it feels like I should be farther in this dungeon. That was only the first boss. Well, I don't need any loot from here, so I don't know why I'm running to that. Okay. Oh, I thought I was throwing a Tomahawk. I forgot I turned that off in lieu of Onslaught. Onslaught is pretty cool. Let me pop a Convalescence here. Maybe also a Rampart, because I'm getting hit pretty hard here. Okay. I do love the combo of Onslaught, Steel Cyclone, Overpower. That's pretty fun. I don't like that I seem to be taking more damage than I'd like to. I'm not seeing Trick Attack, and I'm not sure if I'm just missing it. I mean, I'm not going to yell at the ninja or whatever. I'm sure there's stuff I could probably be doing better that I'm not doing, but he's definitely throwing down Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot to see if Trick Attack is applied. Well, I'll have to see if he tosses it on the next guy, the giant skeleton. That's a pretty good guy to throw it on in the next group. Come on, get up on the thing. So the big skeleton dude, that would be a perfect place for a Trick Attack on him, because he's like the leader of this misfit rogues. Okay, 1, 2, 3, there they all are, and Onslaught. Steel Cyclone. Yeah, why? That's not the Trick Attack symbol. Did something to it, but he didn't do Trick Attack. Huh. I will admit that back in the Heaven's Ward era, I did not realize that on Ninja you could apply Trick Attack after you've aggroed the boss. Meaning, I thought you could only do it when you were not yet engaged and used hide and ran up on the boss from behind. But then someone told me about one of the ninjutsu combos that lets you use it, which I swear that is not in the tooltips for either the Trick Attack ability or either of the ninjutsu abilities. So I'm not sure how it was figured out, but it's why I didn't know about it. And come Stormblood, with the addition of the roll ability True North, you don't even need to be behind your target to use Trick Attack if you pop True North first. So my point in all that is this ninja should be able to apply Trick Attack, unless, like me, he doesn't realize that you can apply it once you're engaged. But it's pretty useful. It basically increases the damage that your target takes for about 10 seconds, which isn't a long time, but it's good to use at the beginning of a fight when everyone's popping off with their biggest moves, abilities, and such. Okay, so this guy's going to run to the middle in a couple of seconds, but I'm just going to build up some hate here. Yeah, so he's using Doten quite often, but he is not Trick Attacking. So he must not know. I gotta see what weapons he's got that's glowing. He's got an unfinished anima. I think it's 260 that he's got. He's doing good damage either way, but he could be doing more damage, I guess, if he uses Trick Attack. I'll shut up about Trick Attack for now. Just something that one of the benefits of having leveled all the jobs is knowing their function and their ability and their efficiency. There has been the time, like when I was in 2.0, A Realm Reborn, and people would refer to job abilities that I had never even seen, never mind heard of, simply because I didn't play whatever class sees that ability. So, you know, they'd be talking strategy and they'd say something like, for example, use Trick Attack. And I'd be like, I don't even know who he's talking to, who's going to use Trick Attack, what does Trick Attack do, why is that a helpful suggestion for us to be doing in this fight? So having leveled all the jobs and gotten a peek at their abilities, not only do I know and recognize them, but when I'm playing on other jobs and see people playing those jobs, I'm aware of their capabilities as far as what they could be doing. So, you know, in another way, I can offer assistance. If I wanted to, I could say to this ninja, hey, did you know that if you do this combo, You can do more damage, and all of us will do more damage as well. Now that could go one of two ways. The guy could thank me and say, "Oh, I didn't know that, thanks." Or he could be like, "Don't tell me how to play my job." And I don't have a mentor tag on right now, which I could, but I don't have it on. It's not my focus right now, so I'm just gonna do me. And as long as we're winning and not wiping, if he's not playing as efficiently as he possibly could, I'm not gonna get up in his face about it. Oh, I was not in the safe zone. That's okay. This thing's about to die. Okay. Oh, better put Deliverance off and Defiance on here. Here we go. I am not trying to get everything here. Oh good, he turned on Hide. He's going to use Trick Attack, but it also means he doesn't know that he doesn't need Hide anymore. I mean, it helps, but... Okay, let me get back to what I'm doing here. Yeah, he went back to Doten. Okay. He was trying. I should look him up. I wonder if he's... Oh, I better turn on some cooldowns here. Let's see. So that ninja... Oh, he's done a lot of jobs. He's got a 300... I level 328 warrior. 320... Okay, so he's done a lot, but... That said... Ninja is its own animal. It doesn't share any of its armor with any other class, which is also a pitfall of playing Dragoon. If you play a tank, your gear is shared with two other classes. So if you're a warrior, it's shared with Dark Knight, it's shared with Paladin. All those share gear. If you're a healer, same thing. You get to share between Astrologian, White Mage, and Scholar. All heal, share gear. And now with Red Mage, the same thing if you're a caster. Whoops, shit. Oops. I popped an LB. Anyway, yeah, so if you're a caster, Summoner, Red Mage, Black Mage, all share gear. When you get to the melee range DPS, though, man, this guy, this healer's not going to keep me alive, I can tell. Yeah. There I go. And that wasn't even the full pull. I had so many cooldowns. So Monk shares with Samurai, but originally Monk was its own thing. Like had its own gear, but now it shares it with Samurai. Bard and Machinist share their own gear. And Dragoon and Ninja, for some reason, do not share gear. So, if I was doing it, I would have Monk and Dragoon share gear, Ninja and Samurai share gear, Bard and Machinist share gear. Like, that's how you get all those to at least share gear. And even still, you got a couple of situations where there's 3 classes sharing one gear set. But it's something to take into account. It's something I always take into account when you know, I do like Omega Normal, which drops tokens that you can redeem for gear sets. Well, I'll just get the caster gear, or the healer gear, or the tank gear. Those 3 alone cover 9 jobs. Whereas if I went for the Dragoon gear, it's only covering that 1 job. It's a shortcoming that I wish they would fix. Well, I started this run by saying this was a good group, and I'm not going to say they're not a good group, but 5th run here today, it's the first wipe. Well, it wasn't a wipe, but first death I've had. I am pretty sick of Siren Song C, and I still gotta run it one more time at least. Hoping it's just one more time. If I do one more time and I'm very close to 63 but not yet 63, I'll have to see what I can do. Maybe there's something I can do rather than have to run the whole thing again. But I also suspect that that'll happen. You know, as the levels go higher and the experience point requirements are higher, that there'll be a point where I'll be like close, like let's say it's 64, and I'm 1,000,000 experience away from 65. Well, I might have to run that dungeon again before I can hit 65, and then I'll be like 1,000,000 or 2 into 65. But I think that's just how it's going to go today. We are 10 minutes away from noon, with me starting at 9 will mean I will have been going for 3 hours. And I think I wanted to be 64 at noon. Obviously that's not going to happen. So I am running behind. But hopefully I can still get it done. Just maybe into the wee hours of the morning. Throw Deliverance on. I'm going to see if this ninja stuns. I mean, I have the ability to stun, but a previous group, their ninja stunned. So I want to see if this guy does it. Otherwise, I'll do it. Let's see. Here we go, here we go, here we go. He's not doing... Oh, he did do it. Good, good. Good ninja. Just probably doesn't know about trick attack. Or care. That's possible too. You know what I should have done? I just read what you said, Raptor. Yeah, you know, it's not a bad dungeon. It's just it's my 5th time doing it. The next dungeon is about on the same level. I'm not oh shoot, I forgot to stun. Well, here's what happens. He seduced me, and then he uses an AoE on all of us. So that's what happens when you don't stun, and I might... Yep, I got killed because of it. Oh well. Sheesh. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. The next dungeon I'm not looking forward to, only because it's pretty similar to this. However, the level 65 dungeon, when I get there, is awesome. I really like it. It has a very unique second boss, if you can even describe it as such. And that's quite a ways away, I realize, but that's a fun dungeon to do. The dungeon after that, the 67 dungeon, I like the least. And the 69 dungeon is fun because I only need to run it 3 times. And then I'm done. Like, for the whole day. So that'll be nice. Everything else I have to run like 5 times. Except the 67 dungeon, I'm just going to try to run it 3 times. and then do my duty roulettes and other stuff. Alright. Let's see. What I should have been doing is actually tracking how much experience points I was getting each run of this dungeon, because then I could see if the next run is actually going to level me. So this thing's probably going to put me at 3.5 million-ish, 3.4, 3.3. In which case, if it puts me at 3.3 million through this level, then I only need 2 million to level up, which I think I get that much in this dungeon. Let me look at the challenge log. Oh, I'm gonna get an experience point bonus from completing this. So the challenge log grants you various bonuses just for completing tasks each week. And this one, complete 5 dungeons, I'm about to complete. I believe this will count as the 5th dungeon, unless it's 5 different dungeons, in which case I'm not going to get it here. 3 via the duty roulette, so I'll get that when I get to my dailies, which is going to be at level 68. Morbid retreat. So I'm very curious about that. We'll see if I get that. You just realize you have a healing circle you've never used. That's fine, because I think it wasn't until I was leveling stuff in Stormblood here that I realized the same thing. Like when I leveled them all in Heaven's Word, I don't think I used them. And I don't even know if I had them back in A Realm Reborn, or if it was an addition just in Heaven's Word. But that's what I mean when I was talking all about that trick attack, and like, I didn't even know I could use it in the middle of fights. I thought I could only use it at the start of one, until somebody told me about it. Well, I suppose it depends. When you say you rarely use your cooldowns, as a healer, if you're talking about healing cooldowns, maybe you just don't need them because your healing is good enough to keep your party members alive. I would say that if your party members are dying and you haven't been using your cooldowns, that might be a bad thing. But that said, there's also the possibility that if you use those healing cooldowns, you would be able to do more damage and not have to heal as much. Like if you have a regen kind of cooldown, then your tank will get healed over time and you can throw some Stone 4 or whatever level it is at the boss in the meantime. I'm not a fan of this healer, I'll tell you that. They have used a healing bubble and that's nice, but I get really low in hit points and I've died twice in this dungeon. Is this a new healer? Oh wow. Yeah, it's a new healer. They're using older gear, which is fine. This is the first Stormblood dungeon. Oh, I wasn't paying attention myself. Get out of there, get out of there. Yeah, so when you look at the levels that they've leveled, they're kind of all over the map. Looks like they were trying things out. Looks like they didn't like Gladiator or Warrior or Ninja or any kind of crafting, but they decided healing was for them. They've got Astrologian, Scholar, and White Mage as pretty high levels. Looks like they've also tried Red Mage and Samurai. So I kind of like glimpsing and getting a snapshot sort of the players. You can kind of build like a profile on what they've likely done. How they did it, what they went about. I would imagine that this person figured out from testing other jobs that they didn't like. Most of them, they liked healing, and they leveled those, and then Stormblood came out, and they decided to try the new jobs there, but they're back to healing for one reason or another, because they're on Scholar right now. I don't know why this ninja has not used the limit break yet, because this boss has taken an awfully long time to die compared to my previous runs here. I don't know why that is. Is someone AFK or something? Let's see. Looks like there's casting going on. Where's the ninja? Is the ninja locked out? Yes. Why the hell is the ninja locked out? That's why this has taken so long, and that's why the ninja hasn't used the limit break. The ninja got locked out of this fight. How did that even happen? That might be my fault. Perhaps the ninja had died and was running back, and I didn't realize they weren't here when I ran in. It sucks. It'd take longer, especially on a day when I could use as much time as I could use. And I see an ant crawling on my wall that I feel compelled to kill before I lose sight of it. So I'm going to do that, while hopefully this healer keeps me alive. I don't know if I actually killed it, but it fell off the wall after I tried to kill it. Someone use a limit break, for God's sake. Oh, I just used the wrong cooldown, but that's okay. There we go. Wow, that did not do much damage. One thing of note. Well, your limit break as a healer is good if you have 3 bars. I don't know how decent it is at only 1 or 2 for healers. But a limit break as a healer with 3 bars will raise anyone that's dead, which is great in the 24-man runs, or even 8-man runs. But you won't get it in your... Oh, I did get the bonus experience. So I definitely will level on the next run. But yeah, when you're doing just dungeons with 4 people, you're only going to max have 2 bars, so I'm not even sure how viable it is to use that. One thing you might have seen there is that 2-bar limit break only did 5% damage on the boss because a summoner used it. And when casters or whoever has an area-wide limit break use it, it does not as much damage as like a dragoon or a ninja that has a single target limit break. His would have done 10%, twice as much damage. But he didn't get it off. Anyway, I am going to use the bathroom really quickly and then do my last run. So I will be right back.